Alright my fellow raiders, welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and today's video, my friends, is actually a follow-up to one I posted a few days back where I was highlighting a few of my go-to farming areas on the Buried City map. And in the comment section of that video, a lot of you reached out recommending a few of their spots, so I figured as we roll into the weekend, now would be the perfect time to bring you that revised version really quick. Now, as always, we're going to jump right into the details, and if you happen to enjoy this, do me a favor and hit that like button. It truly helps the channel out. And if you want to stay up to speed on all things Arc Raiders, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, I never want to waste your time here at the channel. I do appreciate the privilege of your time, and having said that, I'm going to show you really quick all of the spots we are going to hit up. First of all, it is a small house, and that is in between the Grandiose Apartments and the Santa Maria houses. After that, we're going to go to this location right here that is right across from the initial location. Once we're done with that, we are going to make our way down here towards the end of the buildings. And the reason why I love this farming route is because you can load into the game, get a ton of loot in a very short amount of time. We're talking about blueprints, purple resources, a ton of different trinkets you can sell for a ton of cash. And as we make our way to the gameplay footage, I would like to point out a few honorable mentions. We have the Red Tower, which is located right next to those Santa Maria houses. And we also have Plaza Rosa, which is another great spot that I did highlight in the previous video. And I will leave a link to that in the video description down below. Now, if that's all you need to hear, feel free to click off this video right now. Thank you so much for stopping by. But for everyone else, we are going to go over a few important details when it comes to farming, and I'll hopefully answer some of your questions. Now, as far as your loadout is concerned, I recommend using a looting MK2. The reason for that is because you can see you have a ton of backpack space. Not only that, there are 2 safe pockets. If you don't have that, you could use a looting MK1, but always remember it. Every single thing you see in this loadout, you can buy from the traders on a daily basis, which is something you should be doing anyway. So I strongly recommend buying certain things on a daily basis because remember, the traders are on a 24-hour timer, so every day just make sure you log in and buy a looting MK2, buy a hull cracker, buy as many anvils as you can. I think you can buy 3, but the point is make sure you take advantage of these traders because you will be earning so much damn money. Buying this stuff should not be a problem. Now at this point, we are going to skip ahead to the first farming location. I will check back in a second once we are at the spot you can see on the map. Alright my friends, here we are at the first farming location, and this is easily my favorite farming spot on the map. I've gotten so much great stuff here. Blueprints, purple resources, a ton of stuff to sell, all that good stuff. Now depending on where you spawn into the game, if you spawn on the west side of the map, you're going to go from left to right, the east side right to left. And one thing I strongly recommend doing is pay attention to the amount of time that is left when you load into a raid. Now the max is going to be 29 minutes and 59 seconds, whatever it is. And I say that because there are sometimes I load into a raid and it's like 12 or 13 minutes in. And what I do at that point, honestly, is I just go to an extraction point and I, come back again. And the reason for that is very simple. Obviously the longer a map is active, the odds of these spots being undisturbed decreases more and more. There we go. We have a purple, we got a map, we have a music box. Again, this is stuff we're going to sell. And do me a favor, let me know in the comments section, what do you think of the economy in this game so far? For me, it's really, everything has been really, really well thought out in my opinion. I have not run into any issues whatsoever. And yeah, I'm really loving the game so far. All right, what do we got now? Let's check one more drawer, then we'll make our way to the next spot. Man, we're getting a lot of purples here. This is good stuff. All right, so now let's open up the map. And at this point, we are going right here, which is literally right out the window right there. We're just going to go this way because I do hear some footsteps. So you know what? Let's avoid conflict for now, my friends. All right, we're going to make our way over here to this doorway. And in the previous video I posted, a lot of you were saying just jump out the window, go to this location. So again, thank you for that information. Now this spot for me has kind of been hit or miss. Just going to leave that soccer ball right there. I mean, there are certain times I come to this spot, it is wall-to-wall loot. This does not seem to be one of those times. But again, I want to show you all aspects of this farm, both the good and the bad. And since you're right across the street, you may as well come here anyway. May as well grab a radio, make it worth our time. All right, we are going to continue searching this location. And once we are done, I will then check in with you at the final farming spot. All right, here we are at the final farming location for this run, and this is where you can find a ton of different trinkets, so please take your time, go through the shelves, go through the display cases, do not rush, because you can find a bunch of good stuff to sell. Ooh, someone called a train. Let's see if we can pick up loot really quick and try to make that. I do have a Raider hatch key. Ideally, if I can avoid using it, I will. It all depends on what I actually find in this last spot. I don't know. We'll see if we roll the dice. I'm already out of stash space in the backpack, and this is exactly why I recommend coming in with the looting MK2, because you will be able to fill this damn thing up pretty quick. All right, so let's get rid of the remote control. We don't need that. We can toss the coffee pot as well. Let's see what we have in here. Let's open her up. Medical, yep, we'll take that. There we go. Ooh, blueprint. What is that? Heavy weapon parts? Heavy gun parts. There we go. Yeah, we will take that 100% of the time. And once again, this is why I have the looting MK2, because of those 2 safe pockets, because you can easily get to blueprints on this run. Let's make our way upstairs really quick, do a final check of the building. I don't think there's anything over here, but again, better safe than sorry. We are here. All right, what do we got? Let's open up this thing really quick. Anything else? Nope. That might do it for this location. I don't know. Check over here. Really take your time. Sometimes there are different bags under the table. All right, I think that's it. This is a pretty successful run, I'd say. All right, let's get out of here, friends. Now, as I said a second ago, I do have that Raider hatch key. You can see right across the way there is a Raider hatch. I could exit that route, but we also... Ooh, we got someone down there. Do we roll the dice? Do we hope that they're friendly and just jump out and try to take the train? You know what? We're going to do that. We're going to try to save the Raider hatch key. Let's see what happens. I actually think I heard someone just say don't shoot, so we'll see if they actually mean it. I mean, so far as a solo player, and again, I play on Xbox, so I do turn off crossplay. The majority of the time I run into players who just kind of want to do their own thing. PvP has not been as prevalent as I really thought it was going to be. But again, I can't get pissed off if that happens, because this is a PvPvE game. All right, anyway. Let's get into the train really quick. Everyone seems to be pretty damn cool. So yeah, doesn't look like we have any issues. We do not need to worry. So let's extract with our stuff and just do a quick count of all the goodies we got. So as you can see on screen, we were in this raid for 7 minutes and 12 seconds. And pretty much on average, you're going to be on the map between 5 to 7 minutes, something like that. You can also see the items in our backpack are valued at just under 65,000. Now, it's important to mention that when we started the raid, we had about 15,000 worth of stuff as far as our loadout was concerned, but that's 50,000 in just over 7 minutes. Now, what you're looking at on screen is another run I did. You can see I did use the Raider hatch key on this one. I think I had to go to work. That's why. Or it could be because maybe on this run, I grabbed 2 snow globes and I was like, man, this is a lot of cash. I don't want to lose it. That could be the case. Let's take a look what was in our backpack on this run. 5 minutes, 56 seconds. Yeah, 2 snow globes. I'm taking that money and running to the bank. We also got a rusted gear. We got a necklace, playing cards. That's worth a bunch of money as well. We have another statuette or statue, whichever one it is. Silver teaspoon set. Again, really, really profitable. And for a lot of players out there, including myself, you don't have a ton of time to play. So if you have like 30 minutes and you want to feel like you actually can accomplish something, this is a great farm. So I really hope this video helped you out. On that note, I want to take a moment as always and thank you all for your incredible continued support. Please let me know of any other questions you have I did not address. Thank you once again for the privilege of your time. And as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.